Hello, the doc is in, and today we're taking a look at episode 8 of Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District. This season, like a while ago, but we had some issues. So now we're doing it now. Today's Sunday, the episode just came out this morning. I just watched it, and it was really good. Usually the animation is good. Last week when I was recording the last episode, but that didn't come out, I was like, oh, the animation is really slapping up, got Gyutaro in, whatever. This episode, they stepped it up another degree. It was really good. But usually it's really good, but today was like really, really good. Let's just hop right into it. So first off, we got show up, we got Gyutaro, we got Daki. Gyutaro's the older brother of Daki. It seems like there are two demons in one. How that works, not a clue. But they're a tag team duo, which is pretty nice. Gyutaro's basically like, oh hey, my sickles are poisoned. You should be dead. Why are you not dead yet? And Tengen's basically like, oh, well, I'm a ninja. I'm flashy. We don't die to poison. Sorry. And basically keep on talking back and forth. And Gyutaro basically is like, nah, you're definitely poisoned and you're definitely getting sick. So while you're not dead yet, you're definitely losing. So don't know what to tell you. During this whole section, we also have a moment where Tengen is thinking about his family and stuff, and like his ninja stuff. And basically, is like, oh, I used to have a big family, and then throughout a bunch of stuff, a bunch of my family members are now dead, except for two of us, myself and my brother. My father is kind of crazy and got us all killed doing crazy stuff, and now it's just me and my brother is like my father, and I can't be like either of them because they're both insane. And so then we also cut to him meeting him and his wives meeting with Kaguya. I believe that's his name. I forget sometimes. But meeting with the master, and basically he's being like, oh, it must be tough having grown up with these ways of doing fights and being this way, and now you're operating in a different world, operating on different rules and all that stuff. It must be tough. And he's like basically just acknowledging that Tengen goes through it. He's like, I see you, and I understand that, and I feel for you. And Tengen really felt that in his heart. He was like, not to worry, my dude. You felt my pain, so I got you. We'll get this done. So then Tengen decides to pull up on Daki, and so Daki and Gyutaro, because they're on top of each. Well, Gyutaro has Daki on like his back, and so basically he rushes them, and we see a little bit more of Tengen's fighting style. Just him, regular swordplay. It definitely is flashy. He basically has like a nunchuck. He basically has the double swords, but in also a nunchuck way. So he uses it as a nunchuck as for range, and he also uses it as a double. And you get all that stuff going on or whatever. And basically the fight starts, and everybody separates. Daki puts back on her head after getting it blown off and everything. And then basically Gyutaro's like, well, whatever, you can kick my sister, you can blow her head off or whatever, but you can't kill us, and it doesn't seem like you figured out how to kill us yet. And even if you did or didn't, it doesn't matter, because as long as you're still poisoned, you're gonna lose no matter what. Even as long as we just don't die, eventually you'll lose, so it doesn't matter. We also have to point out that because Tengen is poisoned, we have to assume he's probably getting weaker. We don't really know the effects of the poison. Maybe we might learn a little bit more about it, so we're not sure if it's like making him weaker, but we have to assume it's making him weaker because we see him sweating, and he even goes out of his way to be all flashy and be like, oh, poison doesn't work on me, whatever, I can do whatever I want, I can dance for you and everything, which would heavily suggest in my mind that he's probably not as well for wear as he makes it seem. But after Gyutaro's basically pointing out that he's gonna die soon, we got the boys showing up. We got Inosuke, Zenitsu pulling up. They're here. We got Tanjiro jumping out from somewhere off screen and showing up. We got the little stance. He's looking cool. The little blood in his eyes still looks weird, but it's looking cool. Tengen even says he looks cool. He's like, hey, you guys came in a very flashy way. He's loving it. Tanjiro's doing a little bit of analysis of the situation. He's like, oh, it's two demons now. What's going on? And Daki's not dead, even though she had her head cut off, the whole thing. And Tanjiro, also using his nose, identifies that Gyutaro is the main body. That was a question in the last episode, but now it's been answered. Look at that. We also cut away at one point to see that, Tengen's wives are basically getting everybody out of here because it's about to get real wild, real flashy in a second. Alright, so people can't be in the areas. Too much for them. Too much. And basically it's like a little bit of banter her back and forth, and Zenitsu starts the battle off by moving Daki off the main floor, that like the bottom of like the house they were originally fighting in, and Zenitsu using his, we assume, Thunderclap and Flash, and basically tackles her from the bottom floor all the way up into the sky onto the roof. We get like, and after that, first off, that looks cool in the moon. They got the up in the air thing. It's pretty nice. And Inosuke also goes up to the roof. He's basically like, you guys got it at the bottom. We'll take care of Daki up top. Zenitsu has a little speech. He's basically like, he goes from Zenitsu the womanizer in the day to Zenitsu the protector at night. And he's basically like, that girl you hurt, you have to apologize, whatever, because we can get right. Don't be hurting the girls, they're not property. And basically, Daki's kind of doing like a little bit of a psychoanalysis of like the red light district, where it's like, if you're not worth anything, then you're basically treated like less than human, all that stuff, which suggests that Daki, obviously she's been a demon who's living there, but it's possible that maybe she's seen the opposite end where you're treated as worthless, because obviously Daki is a demon, kind of a baddie, so I don't see why she would know anything about being treated as less than human, besides treating other people as less than human when she's a demon. And then basically Zenitsu's like, nah, but you should treat people how you want to be treated. And after that, Daki, Daki has like a little bit of a transformation, and while she's talking, she has a little bit of transformation, and she gets like this third eye on her head. And to confirm, that's definitely Gyutaro's arc, because after this, we see he only has one eye, and we see pretty much as soon as we cut to him, he only has one eye open. So we have to assume he's basically giving her extra strength by giving her the third eye. I think, based on what happens after they begin fighting like proper, what's happening is that Gyutaro, by giving her the eye, allows her to see through his eyes and hers, and also gives her a little bit of power boost. So this is how she's able to, later on, as you see in the episode, she is able to not only be able to fight technically Tengen and Tanjiro, and also Inosuke and Zenitsu at the same time, basically making her like a really good support, which may explain why she's not really strong on her own necessarily, being able to be basically one shot by Tengen light work, but together they're basically like an impossible task, where even 4 people, 2 people being kind of weakened and 2 people being fresh, even when they're separate, they're pretty untouchable for the most part. But we'll get to that in a second. We have a little bit of Daki and Gyutaro's speech after a little bit after the transformation, or was it before? Point is, the transformation in there, somewhere in there, but they have like a speech together. They speak in unison, and they're basically what they're basically doing is like they're kind of talking about their past in a way, where they're basically talking about how, when Zenitsu references treating people how they want to be treated, they reference how, they were treated badly back in the past, and now they're basically out for blood at all times. Nobody gets any niceness, because when they were weak and where they were at the bottom, they weren't treated nicely. So everybody can get it at this point. Nobody's safe. We don't care. And then the fight begins. We cut back to Tanjiro from the roof. After the speech, and she has like the transformation and everything. We cut back to the bottom where Tengen and Tanjiro are. Tanjiro's basically like, alright, I gotta assist Tengen with this guy. We got this, whatever. And Tanjiro's like, alright, I'm on my toes, right? I'm on my tippy toes. We're ready for anything. And Gyutaro immediately blitzes him. Literally hits him with he got like his arm, he got the sickle pointing up, he's about to just stab him right through the head. And Tanjiro's like in his head, he's like, I gotta block, I need to dodge, I need to deflect, I need to do something. And it looks like he's heading back, because he says like, I need to move back or something. But Tengen grabs him and basically throws him out of the way. And then they start, Tengen and Gyutaro start going at it. And it's not, hey, Hashira for a reason. He's really putting he's not winning or anything, but they're definitely going back and forth. It seems like relatively evenly matched. And this is around the time, and as they're going back and forth, you have a lot of choreography. It looks really nice. You know, look at the pictures on screen. You know, whatever. A lot of good shots. A lot of good shots here. But we also got Daki on top, and basically this is when we start seeing her well, we see basically a lot of her belt blades puncturing through onto the floor where Tengen, Gyutaro, and Tanjiro are fighting. And basically, at first, it basically goes down that Tanjiro is barely able to keep himself from getting hurt by the belt blades, and Tengen's basically just having to dodge them or block them himself while also fighting Gyutaro, who's super trying to kill him. And we cut back to the top, and Zenitsu and Inosuke are basically having a rough time of it as well. They're not really. They make Gyutaro makes a point of pointing out the fact that Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and them aren't really as good as Tengen pointed them out to be. Tengen hypes them up a little bit. He's like, oh yeah, we got this. They're all really they're like the high rank. I forget the ranks, but they're like basically saying that they're like really high rank. They're like really qualified. We'll win this. And Gyutaro's basically like, nah, that's cap, boy. That's cap. They can't even work together very well. You guys are about to get slapped up. It's done for you. Don't know what to tell you. And so Zenitsu and Inosuke are basically dodging around, blocking and stuff on top, while Tanjiro's basically just being like, dang, I really suck, and my boy's about to get killed. And Tengen's also like, dang, I really suck, and my boy's about to get killed. See, they're on the same page. We have a lot more choreography, whatever, got a lot of stuff going on. Tengen ends up using a bomb to get rid of some of the belt blades, so that then, you know, open up the area, because, you know, they're just sticking through, so, you know, whatever. And he was also getting attacked by them anyway. So doing that, he opens up the area, and from there we still have more going back and forth with the fighting. But now with each Gyutaro uses like his blood sickles, right, and Tanjiro is able to block them, and he uses his water form to like deflect them out of the way, and you see like a little fist thing, whatever. It's fine. That happens, and Tanjiro's basically playing a bit of assist as well, because he's really not strong enough at this point to really keep up with fighting Gyutaro with Tengen. Seeing from him getting injured, and then him also having to deal with Nezuko, he's basically, and Tengen even points it out, he's like, Tanjiro is not in any position to be out here trying to throw hands with Gyutaro, or he's in no business throwing hands at anybody. And then Tengen is basically like, dang, I really got poisoned, like people are in danger, and I'm out here getting sickly and dying, like come on, you gotta stop it. So then we also got belt blades coming in, and Tanjiro also blocks those as well, and the fight keeps on going back and forth. And then we got the pretty one of Tengen's wives. So you got the mad one, we got the really meek one, which is adorable, you know, top girl, top five, and then we got the really pretty one. I don't think she really has a crazy personality. I think she's supposed to be pretty, and she is. Anyway, she shows up, and we do cut to her, and she's like, because if you remember from previous episodes, she was poisoned, but she's like walking or whatever. She's like going somewhere, and we're assuming when we see her earlier in the episode, she's leaving. But actually what she's doing, she's getting to the battlefield, and I'm like, dang, is she really about to like get my boy Tengen hurt up? Like, she's gonna get in danger, because Gyutaro's gonna be like, well, she's gonna have to die real quick, and Tengen's gonna like sacrifice himself or whatever, or like maybe Tanjiro or something. Well, not sacrifice, but you know, try to stop it and then put themselves in further danger. But actually, nope. Through and through, ninjas do not fail. Ninjas are the superior beings when it comes to Japanese culture. And she pulls up with the gat, the crossbow with kunai in it, and she blasts on Gyutaro on sight. Because you know what? Fuck demons for life. Except for when I'm playing Hinokami Chronicles, which is obviously the gameplay in the background. It is me playing. I am kind of nice. Maybe I do a video on it later on. Definitely when Tengen comes out in game, because I heard he's apparently supposed to be coming to the game as DLC. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, fuck demons in the anime, and she blasts on him on sight. And so Gyutaro's like, bro, what am I gonna do? Because basically it's like three different directions. We're saying Tengen's holding him up, and he's basically keeping Gyutaro on an even. And he's got these kunai coming at him, and he's like, okay, I could, no matter, basically he's figured out that he's like, okay, any direction I go to try to, like, if I try to ignore the kunai, it could be dangerous, because obviously they wouldn't just shoot kunai at me. I'm a demon, and I'm upper sex, so it's not like it's gonna hit me and then it's not gonna heal me, so obviously there must be something special about these. He's like, okay, well, I could block the kunai, but if I ignore Tengen, he might slap me. If I block the kunai and try to tag Tengen, I might get tagged by one of these boys. Basically he's like, I don't know what to do, but you know what, whatever, I'll just block these kunai just in case. So he uses one of his demon arcs. You see the blood demon arts, and he's able to block all the kunai. And the girl Kunichi is basically like, oh, she didn't really say anything, but she's just surprised or whatever. But I mean, it's to be expected. He's upper sex. If he couldn't handle the situation, Muzan would have packed him up a long time ago. But after that, Tengen comes in the rush. He's speedy. My boy's, he's stepping. He comes in, he's basically inbound on Gyutaro, and Gyutaro's like, dang, he's rushing me? What's the deal? And basically he's like remembering, like, oh yeah, he's a ninja, whatever. Also, Tengen gets stabbed by the kunai, but basically he doesn't care, because, you know, he's a ninja, you know? This is what ninjas do. He's going for the kill. And also, we noticed that not noticed, but Tengen makes a point of saying that, oh, I need to finish this battle quickly, because the longer this goes on, the more likely we are to lose. Because if not for Tengen, they would be dead. Everybody there would be dead. Because as it stands, Tanjiro's probably the next strongest person. Like, if we're saying skill ceiling at the current moment, the next strongest person here who could pull something off is probably Tanjiro with his Hinokami Kagura. But he's all burnt out. There's nothing he can do. He's effectively just playing support, barely. So if he was trying to like fight Gyutaro, he would just be dead, and then from there, Zenitsu and Inosuke would have no chance. So without Tengen, this battle's over. Tengen's literally playing the Rengoku role, but Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro are a little bit stronger, so they're actually like participating in the fight. But if not for Tengen, they would be dead. So Tengen's basically like, alright, I'm gonna go for the kill. You know, I just gotta get this. So when he rushes him, Tengen cuts off Gyutaro's legs. And Gyutaro's like, dang, my legs. Anyway, but then he's like, oh shoot, my legs ain't coming back. And he realizes that he also gets hit by one of the kunai. And he realizes that, okay, there is something special on the kunai, which is why he was like, oh yeah, because basically Gyutaro's intuition said, don't get hit by a kunai. Because he was like, there's no way these are just regular kunai that they're gonna hit me with. There has to be something special about it, or else they wouldn't even try it. And so there's Wisteria or something of the form that stops them from regenerating on the kunai, which is why it's okay for Tengen to a certain degree to get hit, because he could be like, oh well, you know, as long as it doesn't hit me in any violent areas, I'll be fine. I'm trained anyway, so it'll be fine for me to get hit. But if a demon gets hit, then it's like a huge loss for them. So, ergo, cut. So he cuts the legs, and then Tanjiro comes in. He's about to like come in with a slash to the neck. It's about to be done for Gyutaro. Well, technically done. Assuming, since he can't regenerate, if he gets his head cut off, I mean, he'll still be able to move his body. But from there, they can just bum rush Daki while she's not paying attention. And then that'll be that. Or at least take his head and then take Gyutaro's head away from his body so he can put it back on and then cut Daki's head off, and then they would win. But anyway, Tanjiro goes in for the slice, and we end the episode. I feel like that's a little bit shady because basically it's heavily suggested based on Gyutaro's talking, or what he's talking about the situation, that he doesn't really believe he's gonna die here. Like he seems very confident that he's perfectly fine, that even though it seems like they're really working together now and it seems like they're kind of sort of getting the upper hand at this point, he's still not gonna lose. And we don't necessarily know that Tengen's theory is necessarily correct based on the episode. So it's possible there may be more to Daki in Gyutaro's plan here, or maybe Gyutaro's like, well, this guy could cut my head off, but as long as Daki doesn't get hit, I can immediately regenerate, or at least put my head back on, and then go back to the fight. So we'll see what definitely happens in the next episode. I'm definitely very interested. The fight between Inosuke and Zenitsu and Daki definitely should get more focused in the next episode. I mean, I understand that Daki's gotten a lot of focus already, and so now we're looking at Gyutaro, but Zenitsu and Inosuke, yeah, sure, they gotten like a number of good appearances, but they haven't really gotten their fight yet. Like, you know, they ain't really get to like show off too much. A little bit with like the belt separation thing, but I feel like they deserve a little bit more. But that's my personal opinion. Daki looks cool with the third eye. I think it's pretty nice. But, you know, her abilities are more assist abilities, so I can kind of understand why following her at this point, it's kind of like, okay, we got Tengen fighting Gyutaro. Tengen got these cool double blades and the bombs, and he's like basically using them like nunchucks. He's like extending his range by using his thingies. He has like a lot of these weird fighting ways because he's a ninja, not really a swordsman necessarily. And we got Gyutaro with the sickles, and he's pretty cool with them. And you got the poison and the blood and everything. So it's like, I could watch a girl swing around belts that are like blades, or watch the anorexic blood guy use his sickles to stab people. It's an easier choice. But still, they deserve some shine. Tanjiro in this episode, he was cool. Basically, we're just seeing that he's like definitely not 100%. He's maybe like 30%. He's just trying to do it. He's just doing his best. It's honest work, and it's the best he can do. Also, I skipped the part from the very beginning of the episode with like Nezuko and stuff, but honestly, none of it was like super important. Basically, Tanjiro just puts Nezuko to bed, and that's about it. And now they're fighting. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited for the next episode. I'm not sure how long Tengen's gonna last. I'm assuming he's still got a little bit in him, but what is he gonna do? And also, we don't got an antidote for that, so I'm guessing they basically put Tengen to die, but who knows? Who knows? Something might be pulled off, you know? Healing breathing for the win. Who knows? But definitely this episode was great. Good 9 out of 10. I would definitely say a good 9 out of 10. And yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you like. Put a dislike if you dislike. I know you can't see the dislikes, but I definitely can. So if you want to hurt my feelings, you can definitely put a dislike. It's fine by me. Comment if you want to comment. Not sure what another episode will be. If there will be not another episode, but another video will be out this week. But if there is, please watch it. And thank you. See ya.